Okay, so today is Wednesday, January 17th. Today and tomorrow, high watch time for earthquake warning in San Francisco Bay Area. Uh, the warning is for high magnitude earthquake. Let's see what will happen today or tomorrow. Okay, so I highly recommend you guys watch this video ASAP. He explains everything really well in this video. What's really going on behind the scene ever since the hybrids uh, involved in preparing for the NWO. And he explained every single element on the US currency, that piece of paper. Every single element, not just like roughly speaking, oh, that's a triangle with an eye and that's it, period. You know. So I'm sure a lot of people like probably watch this video and copy him, stole his information and create YouTube videos and claim that they found out on their own or God, given them that information. Anyway, so he explained it very well. Uh, this country actually is going towards actually is has been a socialist country. Even though I agree with him, like the commandment, like the constitution. Sorry, the constitution sound very very uh like perfect. Is but the government has never been operate under the constitution. Like they never really follow the constitution, right? So technically, this country is a socialist country, so as the whole European Union. Germany, France, etc. They all are socialist countries. None of the country in this world is democratic country. None. They always has that facade that telling people Western countries are democratic countries, but they're not. It's just a facade, just a cover. But what it really is, they all are socialist countries. Okay. Anyway, I highly recommend you guys watch this with video ASAP because he explained the whole behind the scene has been. Okay. And so now we are high watch time this Saturday, Sunday, and then next Monday for Rapture, 10th day of the 11th month in the Enoch calendar. And I'm expecting something will happen today and Friday, the 19th. So let's see what will happen. And so lately, a lot of people keep talking about disease X. It's not new, They just the MSM just regurgitating the old news and bring it up again to scare people because is it 3 years ago that plan didn't work. It worked at the very beginning, but then it like collapsed, the plan. It didn't go the way it planned it. So now they bring up the disease X again. So there are a lot of sci-fi movies that actually have disease X as a center of the plot. No matter the name is exactly the same X or like Resident Evil. The disease is T virus. Thank you, Christian, to bringing up the discussion with me. So, so T virus and disease X pretty much same, but just the name is different because T at the time 2020 is the popular alphabet, right? T is the 20th alphabet. But now, as we on the verge of the beginning of the NWO, X is the number, is the number, the popular number. Because X is the 24th alphabet in English, but it actually is the 22nd alphabet in Greek. X is also equal to 10 in Roman numeral, and X is also representing feminine energy, the yin yang, the yin energy. Um, so that's why now everywhere is X, right? But let's put English aside because Greek language is way back then. It's way before even Greek developed first before Roman, right? Technically, everything Greek transferred to Roman ancient culture, right? So we need to look at the culture that came first, which is Greek. I'm talking about among Greek, Roman, and English, right? So the alphabet number 22nd one is the X, right? And X is also representing Christ, sorry, Jesus Christ, the name Christ. So that's why X is actually also representing Jesus Christ. And so now they keep blaming the sun right now, the eruption, solar flare. So they keep blaming the sun as well as the climate change, both, right? So the sun, solar flare, the sun, they just borrowed that pronunciation. Technically, they want you to bring to blame on the sun. Okay, quote unquote. You know what I mean? There's no solar flare. They created it. The sun, like I said, I've discussed this before. The sun and the moon, from the books of Enoch. The sun is a disk and have fire. It's a the sun will not act weird unless God orders the sun to act, in a certain way. Otherwise, the sun will always be the same. So that means climate change, of course, and the solar flare, they fabricated those stories, right? Why? Because they want you to blame on the sun of the earthquakes or whatever, tsunami, they want you to blame on quote unquote the sun. Okay, so now the X. So isn't it confusing? The X is representing Jesus Christ based on the Greek language, but at the same time, the X is actually representing the feminine energy, the yin energy, which is the heaven queen of heaven, right? The Mary is coming, the Virgin Mary is coming back, which is Sophia. The twin female energies, right? Um, so again, they always copy God, Jesus, and Holy Spirit, right? They just act, they, how do you say it? They are copycats, period, right? Okay, okay, so the disease X and T virus are the same. It's about all about the mutation. So now the brain, it will affect the brain, right? Like the most recent news about the what pangolin has the CB virus, and then now they do testing, and then found out it affected the brain and bit this and that, um, and mutation. And so if you watch those sci-fi movies, you know the human mutated, then became what they become monsters, like eating human, like cannibalism and killing without ceasing. Um, and they, of course, they transformed the body like an animal. Uh, a lot of teeth, like those creatures, demonic creatures. So now, let's see. And they want you to get used to the demonized creatures, right? Because what will come on earth actually is million times uglier, scarier, and you know, more vicious than what they portray in the movies. I think they all are giants, gigantic monsters. So they want you to get used to it. So that means desensitizing the Matrix people. Um, so now we need to really focus on Jesus and God and Holy Spirit, of course. Focus on the Bible and all those helpful lost books and literatures and so forth to gain more knowledge of what was at the beginning, so that we know the end. Um, so we won't be deceived, right? And fall back into the matrix and waiting to be slaughtered by them. Um, so you can Google the economics cover, magazine cover 2019. There's a pangolin there. So they planned this whole plan, from the beginning anyway. They just like a little by little to tell you like a few years ahead of time. Then by the time it's almost there, they remind you again, you know. So that's the procedures always, nothing new under the sun. Um, and all those disease and wars, rumors of wars, just to another reason is to scare you, scare those matrix people that they will rely on the authorities and they will be afraid of death. So they don't want to die. They would certainly welcome the idea of transhumanism, right? But at the end, they really want to die, but they cannot find death. Uh, which is in the Revelation, God already told John, and John already um, told us through the book of Revelation.